Hello, everybody. I think we're live. We're live. This is going to be streamed and it's going to be uh, sent out to all our different social media. Hello.
Hello.
And welcome. We're live. I'm recording this call and also it's going to go out on our social media later on. Really excited to take this now to every single member of our community. This is the first time we're actually giving it away. Used to be only for level 2 members. So it's just going to be really awesome. And today I had in mind to, first of all, if you have any landing pages, any websites that you're working on, send them over in the chat. And then we're going to be reviewing them on the call. And then also I'm going to be showing you some of the things I'm working on, some really cool things in landing pages and conversion rate optimization, which I think everyone that are going to be watching this recording on YouTube and you guys on the call will find it really useful. Okay, cool. So yeah, we'll start with the ones, the sites that you have. Then I'll go over some general examples, which you can apply for your businesses as well. We'll go over Mike's example first. I'm going to be sharing my screen so we can kind of see the same thing as well. Let me just do that. All right. So this one, I'm sure is this one, my Aerostar. And I'm familiar with the site since you linked it earlier as well. And I am going to be looking at it on mobile as well. I think most of your traffic is naturally going over there anyway. So it makes sense to switch view. All right, great. So the first thing I would take a look at here is, like, I actually want to dial it back one step, because in conversion rate optimization, a lot of us are worried about what we see on the website, but the step before that is equally important. So it might be beneficial for you as well when you look at your own website, is almost to set it up inside of Figma. And on the left side, you would show your ads and then try to visually understand what ad are they exposed to and where is the first page of entry. So you kind of map out all your funnels. And there are so few brands that actually do this and don't realize that the ad is not priming people to and make them able to buy upfront, right? Mike, you opened a. Let me see here if I can. Can you unmute yourself?
Oh yeah, sure, and that's easier. Okay, yeah, I was just wondering if it's okay if we just raise hands and ask questions.
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, what the difference is? But yeah, we have quite expensive products. So actually, 80% of our traffic comes from Google. So yeah, you have two different kind of search queries. So that's mostly AirTrack. AirTrack itself is the product name in general. So people search always for AirTrack or AirTrack 3 meters, AirTrack 5 meters, and so on. So yeah, they mostly are familiar with the product itself already. Yeah, so that's most. Yeah, we also do Facebook, of course, but it's more yeah, retargeting mostly. Also double funnel. But yeah, that's what the difference is with most brands, because yeah, we rely on Google mostly.
Okay, good to know that. Take that in consideration, because obviously with Google, if you're bidding on keywords, it's very difficult to prime them a lot because there's really no space to talk about your product before. But on the other hand, if they search for AirTrack, then you know they have interest in the product. And then there are certain other things that are really relevant, like proving that you have a legitimate company, a good product that people are happy with, and so on. So those are some things we can take into consideration. If you look at this page here, the first thing that comes to mind for me is that it's a little bit overwhelming with the amount of information that is presenting above the fold. So we have, a font here with some sale. Then we have here something about what the company offers, some unique value propositions. Then we have discount here, and then again, a lot of code. So it's a lot to digest upfront. And one thing you could definitely be testing, which I think would probably increase your conversion rate, is this section up here is not bad because it's showing the product, what it's doing, but color and size is potentially something we could push a little bit below the fold. And that way we clear people's mind, allow them to see if they like the product. And once they feel like, "Oh, that looks good, maybe I can find the color, the size I want," then they scroll down and they take that next form of action. So that could be something you could try, because there's a philosophy in CRO where people get paralyzed if there's too much information up front, and stripping down that little bit of information can be quite helpful. So that's something to try as well. Besides that, the big thing I'm seeing is you have a lot of images. There's a lot of copy and so on. And there's a lot of, but one thing I would go a little bit sooner in the gallery is an image with a human using the product. You have that later on, but I would try to use those images a little bit earlier in the gallery, because this is a great way for customers to see there's a legitimate product that seems to be in good quality. And a lot of people are, when they Google things and they're searching for AirTrack, they're going like, is this a place I should buy this product or not? Yes or no, right? And so you want to show you're a legitimate seller of this product. You want to show that's good quality. So I would try some of these images earlier in the gallery. I would also potentially show a kid and maybe show a grown-up next to it so that people can see the sizes. I'm guessing some of the sizes here that it's hard for people to kind of understand, should they have this size or this size, right? Or this size or this size. So one thing that could also be really cool is that for the sizes here, there's a little button and it opens a pop-up and shows an image of that size and a human next to it. So people can kind of understand, oh, it's that's how big it is. So consider that so people can understand these numbers a little bit more easily.
Okay.
What's that?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, one quick question regarding the lifestyle images. Would you put these in front of the textual images, so directly after the variant images, for instance?
Yeah, I would try some of these images with the with people on it. I would try it as the first image, and I would try it where it's the second image. And then, obviously, if you know how to run an A/B test, I would run that as an A/B test to see if it makes a difference. Because we have clients where when we switch the product image to one that features a customer or someone using it, we saw a massive boost in conversion rate. And the reason for that was that people wanted to instantly know if this was a good product or not, and they wanted to see real people using it, and all that stuff. Another thing I would also add in that, now that I'm thinking about it, is instead of this, which is so overloaded, like have a real outdoor picture like that of someone opening the package and putting all the products on the ground, maybe with a sheet under, so it's easy to see what's inside.
Okay.
Because that will make it easy for people to see, what am I really getting when I buy this product. And this could be something that your supplier in Asia have sent you. But if you put a picture in a garden, and if some family is opening the package and showing all the pieces inside, it really shows like, oh, there's no doubt this is what I'm getting, right?
Okay, clear. Yeah, we have a lot of content actually, so should be able for us to find these kind of images.
Yeah, so that would be really amazing. The add to cart button, yellow is a color we've seen mostly used about 5-10 years ago in a lot of e-commerce stores. And this has a vibe of a brand that is selling like a digital course or something like that. I think you can increase your conversion rate by adding in a different colored cart button. And maybe, I don't know if I would use the shade around it, but you can find tons of e-commerce businesses and see what kind of add to cart button they're using. Most of them use more of a square button. If we can see in these pages, because these are landing pages. But there's tons of examples out there of buttons that look a little bit nicer. And the reason for that is I have this vibe that this is some kind of digital course I'm buying, because a lot of the bad courses online that people used to, like scammy courses, they use this shade of yellow. And I think it's unfortunate when you have a great product that is using that. So again, A/B test different designs of add to cart buttons, potentially different color, potentially like go to Shopify stores and see their buttons. They usually converting quite well.
Okay, clear.
So yeah, so that's pretty good. Let's see what else. Shipping returns, free shipping. It would be nice to show how long you're getting free returns. So free returns could be for 2 days or for 2 months. So if you say, 45 days free returns, you instantly remove a hesitation that people have about, how long they can return their products. So that will just give you more orders. Then another thing, I don't know if it is mainly for the European market or the Dutch market, but if you could add in a split payment solution, so like if you can split this in 4 or whatever, you can use Klarna for that. And Klarna has a little, like you can actually show what you can pay per month, and Klarna can add that dynamically in there. And that can also help some people, because then they're like, oh, I can get it for 70 euros a month. I can afford that. And then you're actually going to increase your conversion rate if you can show that to people.
Okay, clear. The
Yeah,
problem is with the reviews we talked about in the chat already before. The problem is we are selling in Germany, Netherlands, actually these countries mostly. So, but yeah, we use Looks for the reviews, but yeah, they don't have a translation option. So that's a bit, difficult to do, because German people will see, they can't read the first 2 reviews, for example. The second one is in German, the first one is in Dutch. That's a bit annoying.
Yeah, you definitely need to be able to do some kind of rule. It looks up the IP of the visitor, and then it will hide all reviews not based in that language. And it sucks that it doesn't allow this out of the box. There's some technical workarounds and so on for it, but that would definitely increase your conversion rate massively. Because let's say you're running this as an ad in Germany, as soon as they see the Dutch reviews, that turns them off a little bit. So that will help immensely if you can do that. And you have so many great videos. That is absolutely amazing. So definitely do that too. Last thing I would give you in terms of advice here is to show some UGC content below the add to cart, or perhaps in the product description. And I would use this app called Tollstore for that. It's really, really good. And this is one we use for a lot of our clients. So you can basically do shoppable videos, interactive videos, and that helps so much. I'll show you basically the content you upload into them, and it will show like that format when you click on it. So it pops out, it becomes this like kind of TikTok style video. But the execution can be done really, really well. If they don't have an example, I have my client can show you. And they saw a 25% conversion rate increase with this improvement. You see here, watch this in action.
Oh yeah, that looks good.
So basically you have all your UGC. So you just load some of your best UGC content in there. And for example, she has one that shows the safety belt, and then one that shows setting it up and so on. So you could find different ones as well. But this adds so much credibility to the product. And I'm 100% sure you will see conversion rate increases if you add that in. And the app it's going to pay for itself many times over. So
it's easy to implement, I think.
yeah, 100%. And a little extra note, we implemented this for the clients, saw a huge conversion booster because people are buying GIFs already. So that's something you can add into.
Okay.
So yeah, so that was it for this first part. I hope you got some good advice there. And
Sure.
let me take a look at the next page. So I'm going to share my screen again. All right. So we're looking at an apparel company. And it does look like we have a PDP page here. Cool. So first thing that comes to mind up here is that you got a really, really nice gallery with some very professional images in the studio, which I think is really great. I think you got a lot of studio shots. One thing I would recommend, we've seen great conversion increases in the gallery, is by also showing what the product looks like in a real world environment. So not just in a studio. So that could be in a cafe, or it could be in a gym, or it could be in a park or something like that. Because people looking at the zipper hoodie and thinking, I wonder if this will look good in the gym or whatever it might be. And the studio is one thing. So even though it's nice and clean to have the first two images be in a studio, it's really nice, again, to show it in a real world environment. Also, so you can see what does it look like when the sun is reflecting on it and in a natural environment. So something I would definitely be doing if you want a higher conversion rate as well. Second thing I would do is I would write this the size of the model in the gallery. So down here, just imagine like this button up here, imagine it down here, and then imagine that inside of it you write model size. When you click on it, it says, model is this tall, and she uses size small. And that allows people in the gallery to already understand the size of the product she's using and how tall she is. And that's very, very helpful when you're trying to see what size you should use yourself. Then down here, I think it's a little bit too much spacing, and this could be further up. Just no reason to take so much space. Then we got some reviews here, which I don't think it's bad. I think it's good that you have something. But obviously you don't have a lot of reviews, so definitely work on getting way more, because it still seems like you're one of the first people to take a chance on this product. It's definitely something you would work on as soon as possible. Price, sale, that looks okay. Color. Okay, so the color does change when you add it here. That's good, because I was getting a little bit confused about that. One thing you could do is that when you hover over black, gray, and turquoise, it changes the surrounding color around it, just to make it easy for people to understand that it's a new color as well. So that's something you could do too. Sizing, definitely rework that, just because it's very difficult to understand what medium, large, and extra large is. Again, you need a sizing chart here. So that's something that's really missing, and I think it's gonna dramatically increase your conversion rate if you have a good sizing chart. There are apps you can use for this today that can tell you by putting in your measurements what size you should pick. And you can find tons of sizing apps on Shopify, which is super easy to find and set up. But definitely do that as soon as possible. I don't know if you don't make it in small, but otherwise, what you can also do is show the sizes that are unavailable, so people understand that you are producing a small size as well. Other than that, the add to cart button is quite pushed down. You could consider adding in the price in the add to cart button. People really like that as well, so they know what they're committing to. So I would try that out. Let's see what else. One thing I would also note is the return policy is missing. That's very important when people buy apparel. They want to be able to return it. So the return policy needs to be clearly stated down here. And also, if you have a free shipping threshold, you want to indicate what people need to shop for in order to get free shipping. And that needs to be down there. Yeah. So it's one thing to keep in mind. This is one hoodie, and I don't know how many products you have. It seems like to be several products. So one thing you could add in here, you can do stuff like rebuy and show 3 products that complement each other, and then an overall discount if you add all of them to cart. Like, for example, 15% off. You can use rebuy to do that. So then it would show a hoodie, some undergarment, and whatever. So basically 3 pieces that kind of fit together, and then you get the discount. So that will really increase your average order value too.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, I do show that a bit down the fold. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Okay. So yeah, definitely see if you can
Pull it up.
yeah, pull it up a little bit, because nobody really see it. Like, it could be under here somewhere. And that'll be really cool. You could add smaller thumbnails so it doesn't take so much space and push everything so much down. But rebuy have ways to really make it look really nice. Yeah, and obviously more reviews really important. Here you actually have something about a money back guarantee. That's a really nice thing. So what you can do is add the money back guarantee stuff up over here, so people understand that you do have that. Even better if you write a little bit of information. So it says 30-day money back guarantee. You might underline it. If you click on it, it pops up and show what the policy is about exactly. So it can be something about, if you don't like the product, you can return it free of charge. You'll get refunded. So just adding a little bit more information on it. Likewise, if you have your return policy all the way up here, then if you click on the hassle-free returns, then there could be some content related to why it's hassle-free, which could be this content here. So there's a little bit of extra information that makes it trustworthy, which is really, really helpful. You do seem to have some upsell down here, but it's not so much. Seeking maybe a little bit more storytelling about the brand and why it's great, and some of the fabric and what is it made of, and something like that. So in general, could be a little bit more storytelling on the page as well, through the content and through, show pictures of the factory and the sewing process and the story behind the brand and why we're better. And so it's a little bit more convincing. That would definitely help a lot.
And Daniel, could you just click add to cart, because there is another flow that I created here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about this?
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's doing some of the things that we want to see. Basically multiple steps, discount ladder. I love to see that. I've seen the 5, 10, and 15% off doesn't work super well. So you're better off giving freebies here if you can. You could also upgrade to express shipping, one of those thresholds as well. I'm not super in love with this design here, because it seems that it's a little bit overwhelming. So I like a design where the checkout button is at the bottom and the upsells are in between. And I like to use Upcart for that, which is another app. I think it's cleaner, and we tested that it works super well. So Upcart, you could also use Rebuy. Obviously, it's a little bit more expensive, but those are 2 great cart systems that we've seen a great success with.
All right.
And then obviously for checkout, you're a little bit limited because of Shopify. I need to take those. So not always easy to change that. Okay, you seem like you have one page checkout, which is awesome that you got that. So at least you have that going for you, and that will definitely help you quite a bit. So yeah, I mean, there's a huge amount of things you could test. If you're into A/B testing, I would be testing whether you should give free shipping at this threshold, or you should give free shipping on all orders, or you should set the higher. So there's a lot of testing you can do around free shipping and when you should give it. And that we have seen some amazing results with as well. You could also A/B test the price of your hoodie, like should be 35, 45, and so on. And sometimes you see that it's actually converting just as well on 45, and now you have a much better profit on your item. So I would A/B test that as well. That makes a big difference. Some of the things I already talked about in the previous examples on AirTrack, you could definitely use as well. So UGC, you could have added that here, like the videos I showed, see it in action. That would be amazing. And yeah, so those are some of the things I would test here. There's definitely 10, 15 things here that could be reworked. And I think if you do that, you could see some really good results. An example I like to use all the time is True Classic Keys. Go check their website if you haven't already. And you're so good at getting the biggest revenue from their marketing. So on category pages, they go over all their other sections. So like, oh, I'm on long sleeves. I realize I need some polos. Then it's just a one-click thing, and I think it's showing on mobile as well, right? So it looks really nice like that. Then one thing you can consider, I mean, some brands don't want to do this, but you could sell your products in packs. This is something that True Classic have seen works really well. But again, not every brand want to sell things in packs, but this is something that adds AOV as well. This is sort of the design we use for our navigation up here. So hamburger, search, brand name, store identifier, and cart. So that's something I would recommend for you guys too. But you could also write cart here and menu here, like in words. And we've seen that increases the click-through rate as well. So just something to keep in mind too. And then the last thing I want to show you, if I can, on True Classic, is you see how a lot of the examples were a bit overwhelming, but this is so clean. You don't really feel overwhelmed. And this is what I wanted you to do on yours. So sizes like that, super easy. Make the icon smaller. And then you got your sizing chart and find your fit, which is what I just told you about, where you put your measurements in and it tells you what size you should pick, which is super easy. And then instead of having all that information under that you have now, like all this content, nobody reads it. But people are too lazy today to read anything. So what you want to do here is add icons that show why your product is superior. And then all this stuff, additional stuff, add it like this under the like these little tabs, and make sure you have returns and descriptions that shows the fabric and how many ingredients you have in it, whatever it might be, but also care instructions, super important for apparel as well. Really, really important. And then when I talk about storytelling, it's about this kind of stuff. Like, why is it better? Show videos, show the differences, and so on. Other than that, they don't actually do a good job, but kind of nice. So yeah, that was my execution. And then for card, I'm just going to show you the card because I reference it all the time. Their card is not amazing, but it's a little bit cleaner. They put 2 checkout buttons. I'm pretty sure they A/B tested it and realized when they have 2 buttons, they get a higher click-through rate. I don't like the design, but that's what they went with anyway. You can see they go with freebies instead of discounts. So yeah, hopefully that was useful, guys. A lot of stuff to work on there. And I think that's something. I mean, if you can A/B test things, is always preferred. That's what we do for our clients because sometimes you just don't know if it's going to make a difference or if it's going to actually be bad for you. So we definitely like to test everything. Mike, for your card, I think few things I would do is I would highlight your guarantees, return policies, and highlight how many happy customers you've had so far. That's really, really useful. And then if you can split the payment, show again how much you would pay per month. That's really helpful. I would also A/B test if you should have the discount code field there or not, because it's a reason for people to leave your card. Like, oh, I'm gonna go back to Google and see if I can find a discount code. If I cannot find it, I'm not gonna buy anything. So consider removing that. And then you have order now, and then the price of the total price. This is going to lower your conversion rate because it sounds like such a huge commitment. Oh, if I click this button, there's no way back. Like I'm gonna commit to 500 euros. So instead, you could write review order and checkout, or proceed to checkout. Those are lower asks that make people feel like, oh, what the hell? I'm just gonna go to checkout and see what happens. And we all know if they do that, they're more likely to check out and so on. So
Okay. One question regarding the card, because you said that removing the discount would help. The problem is since we moved to the one-page checkout for Shopify, the part where you can fill in the discount code is automatically hidden. So they have to expand it first, and then they can insert the code. Wouldn't that be a bigger issue?
I just thought an idea. I saw a few brands that done. They auto apply a discount code that gives like 5% off, and then it will say you already have our highest discount code applied, and that removes that hesitation to go search the web for some discount code. I think you can find apps that can automatically apply a coupon for everyone that goes to checkout, and you can use that wording. You already have our maximum discount applied.
Okay. So in sales period, for example, like now, it's maybe better to even do automatic discount.
Yeah, exactly. Because a lot of people will go back to Google and be like, oh, I need to find a coupon. And a lot of those people never end up shopping. So this way, you're just like taking that away. They don't even need to search.
Okay. Makes sense.
It might really, really boost your conversion rate, actually, because people even are like, whoa, sounds amazing. I'm already getting a discount. So it seems like I should take advantage of that, right?
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Makes sense.
Cool. Yeah, guys. So those were some pretty big insights on what we can do. I wanted to quickly show you something else also to everyone that will be watching this in a recording afterwards. We are making some pretty big changes for the program inside of school, which is what you're seeing right now. One of the big changes we're making is that this resource that we created for all the top landing pages of the world, as you're familiar with, we scrape like 1,000 Shopify brands that are all in the top tier list in the world. And then we take the best landing pages and we put them in here. But this was available for everyone in theory in the past, but now it's going to get locked. So only you guys that are members of the community will be able to see all the newest landing pages. So just making this a resource only for you guys. I will be going over some of the best landing pages that we have kind of spotted for ourselves, that we're going to be using for our clients and kind of taking inspiration from. So we'll be going through that on our weekly call as well. But then also expect a lot of new features where you can sort based on what you're looking for. You can already sort now based on the brand you're looking for. You can sort based on the category you're looking for. If you're looking for like a pre-sale, advertorial, or listicle, you can also sort based on that. And pretty cool. You can find a lot of amazing things. So yeah, this is going to be locked up in the future. Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, so then I've got a question here. I was working with an agency for like a couple of years as a CRO expert, and we had this ongoing debate between landers versus PDPs,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like for some clients, they have, let's say, 50 plus products where making landers is just not practical.
Right.
They want to run ads to each and every product.
Right.
But some clients that just have a couple of products make sense. So, I mean, can you turn a PDP into a high converting landing page? Is that even possible? Or no, you should always go for a Replo based landing page for each product, because even Replo doesn't really do PDPs yet, as far as I remember, at least
Yeah.
since last month. Still haven't really figured that part out yet. So, really struggle with this. What are
Yeah,
your
it's a really good question, and it always depends on each brand. We have seen a lot of brands that run like they will create a custom collection page with like 10 products, and then they'll try to run ads to that versus their normal collection page, and that can be quite helpful. We've also seen other options where people have found a way to do product pages that are unique and not just landing pages. So again, you can do a lot of really cool things, and I've seen a lot of great examples where that's possible. Another example is if you're running, let's say, a pet brand and you're selling a lot of different dog food. Um, it could be 20, 30 different SKUs.
yeah.
You could be doing a listicle about why your dog food is amazing, the ingredients you use, and then after they have finished that listicle, then they get to a collection page to show the different types of dog food you have and so on. So there's a lot of really cool examples like that. Like um, you could, for example, also look at this one. This is a coffee company, and they sell so many different SKUs inside of their company. And what they're doing is they are basically going with a listicle like this. We can also just open it up. Um, and they're talking about why coffee is on everyone's 23 wish list, which is totally generic. But then they talk about like, Javi and what makes it really nice and why people are using it and so on. And then they're going to a product page afterwards, but it could also have been a collection page with an offer on every product inside of their store. So there's some really nice ways to work around the fact that there are many SKUs. Right?
Yeah, I have my niche is actually pet brands,
Okay.
and that's exactly where I've been working for the longest time, and I've done this listicle thing as well. But yeah, you're right, that does make sense. So, and
Yeah.
have you figured out a way to do like Replo is like such a great page builder, but sadly they don't do product pages yet. Do you know any workarounds? Because I'd love to just create my whole Shopify website just on Replo, homepage, collection page, product page. That would be awesome if that possible.
Well, we actually have a client right now in the supplement space, and we're doing a product page in Replo. So I don't know. I guess our developers have found a way to make it work. So
Yeah.
it's not impossible. You can definitely do it, and it's something that we're working on right now.
All right.
Because it's easier sometimes to hack together a page using Replo. So it's definitely possible. But yeah, so
Awesome. All
that's
right.
something we're doing. But definitely go in here under pets and look at all the landing pages in here that we have found. There's quite a few that are really nice, and we're always adding more, which is an exclusive resource you have access to. In the near future, there'll be like a login, and it will check if you have an active subscription. And since you do, you can come in and see everything updated all the time. We had like 100 to 200 new landing pages every month in here as well. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome. Sounds great.
So yeah, I mean, there's so many good ones out there. I'm always scanning and I'm always seeing what can I use to improve things for my clients. What are some new ideas that I can approve and use for my clients? And I think there was a few that I wanted to show you some good and bad examples. one example, these Tensor guys are actually spitting out landing pages all the time. And look at how much content, how much text they're using on their first page. I actually don't like this very much. I think it's a lot of stuff, and I don't feel like reading it. But I know these guys are spending hundreds and thousands of dollars in ads, so they probably have figured it out. But for me, there's so much opportunity to improve landing pages when I see this wall of text, because I could summarize this with icons. I could make it much more easy to digest and read, and I could use way more visual images of people using the product instead of this, where it's a generic image that somebody from Alibaba could have uploaded, right? So I think there's a lot of companies, even the successful ones, that are not doing as well as they can. And there's just a big opportunity to improve as well. So kind of like that. Another thing that I've seen work really well lately is quizzes. And you can see this is a very, very generic page that only goes through a quiz. But sometimes just leading them to a landing page and asking them a direct question, are you struggling to find closure love? Like, this is so powerful, because women essentially all say the same thing. I don't have any clothes I love. So this is instantly going to say, oh, you get me. You actually understand the struggles I go through as a woman looking for clothes. And then they go instantly into a quiz that asks them some things, so it makes it feel personal to them. And then finally, once they've taken the quiz, they're led to a page with products that are customized, like a collection page that has been filtered based on the answers they took in the quiz. So I thought that was really unique and not something I've seen a lot of e-commerce brands do. But then, for example, back to your question around how do you do landing pages for brands that have 100 SKUs, could be something like this. And then to a collection page with a filtered list of products, or one product that is based on their findings from the quiz.
Yeah, but quizzes have never worked for me, honestly, Daniel. Ever. I've tried so many times, but it's always a bad idea.
Oh,
I don't know what that is.
they're
But
definitely not easy to master, but once you master them, they're so powerful, because usually quizzes give you so much engagement, and sometimes you get emails from them that it makes it possible to do remarketing to all the people that finish the quiz and so on. So there's some really powerful things. But I agree that it's a hit and miss sometimes for quizzes. So something to keep in mind. But anyway, guys, hope this was useful. Next week, we're probably going to do more examples from more clients coming in to join the meeting, and I'll be showing you some really cool things we're doing for our clients in conversion rate. Some of the A/B tests we ran that gave the biggest impact. So a lot of content for next week coming. But yeah, thank you for joining the call, and I hope you have a great week ahead of you.
yeah, you should. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thank
guys.
Tolstoy is already live.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you guys. Bye.